Hi, it's Andrea Bude of INFRA. We're having a look today to the factory. Today we show some information on the payload and how to see the repository file. Basically, in repository we find all the attachment, all the files that we can use for the exploitation and for the phishing. So now yet is two files for Windows, for example. We can create other things. So when we do exec, for example, x64, x66, Windows, whatever, we have the option. We will have the option here to do it, to add more information. For example, exec means it has to execute some commands. For example, bin sh. So what is the command we have to do? This is the command. For example, I'm just writing the word chow in a temporary file. This is a very basic command. Some characters are special characters. They are allowed, but not all of them. So we can use, for example, the quotes, but we cannot use the double quotes. We'll see invalid option. So anytime there is exec, we can do this. For example, bin Linux, we will save in format elf, and the output file is just .elf, but can be anything, bin, whatever, is not important. Local loss, local port is not important because this is just an executable that doesn't have to connect to any IP address. We can even write it, but it will be ignored. So this is just the basic thing. Let's build it, and then we will see in our list. It will update. So it requires some seconds, a minute maybe, to build it, and now it's correct. Okay. So we didn't have before, as we see. Now we go back, and yes, this file bin 145 bytes. If we want to have a look at this file, we can always, download and have a look to it. So, for example, here, now we have this file. And we see as 145 bytes just created now. So the date is the same. It's this one. It's just I downloaded, and that's all. What do we want to see? Let's see if it works. For example, so if I just execute this file, I should create a file like this. So let's try if it exists. I'll open another shell here just to show that there is no this file. It doesn't exist at the moment. So if I cut, there's nothing inside. So let's do an execution of this file. Okay, no errors. And now, yes, it exists. It wrote chow and this file in a temporary folder. So the command was executed correctly, and this is working. So whatever we write here, it will work. But now I want to go a bit deeper in it, and we'll remove this file now. So we don't need it anymore for now. So we see it doesn't exist, and I want to do an examination of forensic of this file. So set this file is a binary elf, but we can see hidden some of the code. So this code is not encrypted, so maybe we want to encrypt everything. Let me clean up my folder. So now we don't have anything here, just some other folders. so it doesn't exist anymore. So maybe what we want to do is to hide the code. It can be encoded, but it can be also encrypted. It can be even better. So encoding will be difficult to read the code, but it can be decompiled in somewhat from the first point of view. You don't see it, but it can be seen. So same we can say also with base 64 that we have remember we have a tool here to encode and decode base64. So it's something that is not that difficult to do. You can find tools online, but with ICE 256 will be impossible. It is real encryption and very very powerful. 256 bits is impossible. So let's build it this way now. So we add the sort dynamic for encoding and encrypting with the IS 256. So the code will be different. So we build correctly, and let's go back to the file repository files. So we see it's a little bit bigger than before. It was 145. Obviously encrypted is a bit bigger, but still is small enough. We can download it, and where's here? Okay, so now we have it again. You see 192, and just to remember, there is no txt file, so we can execute it, no errors. And now there is the file, so we can see the content is correct. So content is ciao, so it works perfectly and it was encrypted. But let's verify it is encrypted. So before we see the command, so the same command here, ciao and tmp txt, and now it should be hidden. You see, all this code doesn't mean anything. This is all the code. So we see is this just missing a second line. So this is the elf code, the binary elf, and the code is impossible to recognize. So there's nothing here. So the code works because it executed the command, it wrote ciao in this file, and is impossible to do a forensic to it. So everything works thanks to the encryption. Is impossible to analyze the code. Thank you.